The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is 6 p.m. or a couple of minutes after here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked on to the true nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are
culture crazy.
And today is the 30th of August, 2022. Independence Eve. Right? It's the day before we celebrate our 60th anniversary of being an independent nation. 60 years since the day when the late, great Dr. Eric Williams would have overseen the lowering of the Union Jack and the raising of our red, white, and black. All right? But before we get down into any further, let's kick it off as we always do, all right? We must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
And secondly, must say thank you to our brother in music, that's Tony Prescott. And there's no way to forget. Beside saying thanks to our brother in music, Tony Prescott, we say thank you to the ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, the Taínos and the Kalinagos, because we all know that Columbus lied and we have to accept it. But the P this week and the Tony P stands for
proud. I was going to pension her because it's 60, but nah, but
yeah, we're proud.
Proud to be a Trini Bay. I can't lie. We 100. We have some work to do, but I still red, white, and black.
Despite our indebtedness to the position that we could be in, we are proud of the position that we are in.
P is also for potential, eh?
Yeah.
Because we still have plenty of that.
And if it's one aspect of potential that we always talk about, is the level of the conversation which we are able to have. Because there are places around the world where you cannot speak freely like how we speak freely here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct is right.
There are places around the world where you cannot do the activities and party like we do here in Trinidad and Tobago. There are places around the world like Pakistan that is currently under flood water.
It's 30 million people displaced.
And 1,000+ dead.
500,000 in camps.
We always speak of the fact that God is a Trini. But I think we need to stop that and start saying thank you, God, for the blessings that you have afforded our nation.
I get the whole God is a Trini thing, but I find Trinis should really aspire to be more godly, because here and I don't know if you wanted to comment on this or not, but I see some behavior, I see some things over the couple days here with the celebrations.
I didn't want to talk about that because it is a bitter moment for me, because as a nation we have come so insensitive and
And anyway, you know
right.
what?
No, you bring it up, I have to address it. Why is it that the first thing we had to do is pull out our phones in moments like that? Here now, all the don't get me started, eh? There's a quote.
You get me mad. You know why you get me mad, Aaron? Because we're talking about people pulling out their phones, but it should not be happening off camera either.
I know that,
I'm sorry. yes, we have a culture where we have no regards of
We have
privacy or no dignity.
The Pekong balance.
Jedi overs that. What I'm saying is, where's the dignity? Anyway,
Let me.
do you think?
Yeah, because I didn't want to go down any kind of that route today.
Yeah.
Right? Because we are talking about how proud of a nation we are. All right? Whatever the challenges that faces you, for whatever quarter, place always first that national interest and the national cause. The strength of a nation depends on the strength of its citizens. Our national anthem invokes God's blessings on our nation in response to those thousands of citizens of all faiths who demanded God's protection in our Constitution. Let us then as a nation so conduct ourselves as to be able always to say in the noblest and most inspiring words of St. Paul, by the grace of God, we as a people are what we are, and his grace in us hath not been void. That is the closing paragraph of the speech that Dr. Eric Williams gave on the night that we lowered the Union Jack. I would like those words to be imprinted in our minds, because we are asking you, the citizenry of Trinidad and Tobago, to treat our nation with pride. And when I say the nation, I mean our fellow man, the environment, the systems and policies that are in place, even though we acknowledge that they need to be updated and changed.
Overhauled.
Right? We ask that you treat our country with pride, because the pride is what will take us forward to a better place. Now, for independence this year, we decided to go a little different. We didn't want to just talk about national pride and how good we is and whatever. We wanted to bring in some external subject matter experts, for want of better words.
The Figaro family came to Trinidad, and in some cases came back to Trinidad on a food tour. Right, they dedicated a week, and these are
carry me.
You were busy on boat rides and all kinds of things. So they came. There some are residents, some are second generation living in the States, right? And they came back to Trinidad to go on a food tour. Right?
All right.
And I was the beneficiary of several of the places that they
several food.
I get several food. I was fooded severally. I was definitely fooded severally. And I figured who better to get a report card on Trinidad and Tobago than from Trinis who haven't been here in a while, or from Trinis who now coming to connect. Right? There were, I think the clip was about 16 of them. Right? That was rolling, but I got the opportunity to interview. And of course, Aaron with he for herself had to get in the mix too. But it was a real good opportunity for us to find out from Trinis what Trinidad was looking like to them.
All right.
So buckle up and
enjoy the ride.
Yeah, this has some people in the living room this evening.
Plenty.
Yeah.
All right.
God bless the Figaro clan for doing this too.
All right. Let's stand the two of our reach, and then we'll get into the nexus of our interview.
Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room.
Well, welcome to the living room.
Thank you.
So, Pam, we're going first name, last name?
First name is fine.
Alright, Pam. What word comes to mind when you thought of Trinidad and Tobago before you got down here?
Always happiness. Always Trinity to me, always, I was Trinidadian, whether it's here or abroad, as just happy, bubbly people. We're always happy, no matter what's going on, we're happy.
That was our fact. Right, Javon?
Yeah.
J-E-V-O-N?
Yeah.
Right. So, what word comes to mind when you thought of Trinidad and Tobago before you got here?
Family.
Family. Why?
Because it's the only type of people I would meet whenever I come here. This is my first time really exploring Trinidad. Every time I come here, I would meet my grandmother, grandpa, cousins, aunt, and I would just have the best time only being with them. That's it.
Nice one. Alright, so first name, last name, or just first name?
First name is fine.
Alright, Catherine. With a C.
Let's see, yes.
Alright. So, Catherine, what word comes to mind when you thought of Trinidad and Tobago before you got here?
Before I got here, the word that comes to mind when I thought of Trinidad and Tobago, tropical.
It's tropical.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because when I think of Trinidad, I think of especially the rain, the wildlife, the trees, the fruits, everything about it is a paradise.
I'll take that. I will take that.
If you had to pick a word or a phrase that came to mind before you got to Trinidad and Tobago, what would that be?
If I got here, interested, to be interested to visit Trinidad after 7 years.
7 years, you say?
Yeah, 7 years. The last time I was there was in 15.
Alright,
Yeah.
that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I
Well, it's bad compared to some people, but yeah.
Right, so first name, last name, or just first name?
Wait.
So, Mikhail.
I have multiple pronunciations of my name. So my mother, she'll call me Miguel. But people in the States did patch pronounce, so they say Miguel because they can't say, they say Mikel or Michael or whatever variation you want, because they can't say Miguel consistently. So whatever you want to call me, it could be Miguel, but my birth name, by my mommy and my daddy, is Miguel.
Excellent. Seriously, what word comes to mind when you think of, when you thought of Trinidad and Tobago before you got here? What word came to mind?
Small. So I left here when I was about 10 years old. So I remember everything being like humongous. You know, running in the playground, running in my yard back home. But I've been back maybe like a handful of times. And the last time I was here was around like 2009. And everything was like really small. You know, you visit your playground back home and everything kind of shrink. So in my head, just because we like broke down my old house, everything like that, in my head it's always like Trinidad is small, there's nothing to do compared to New York. And everything I remember from my childhood is just like, it's not there anymore in my head. So like small is my word, just right Trinidad in my head.
Okay, with first name, last name?
First name is Devon, last name Figaro.
Cool. How you spell it, Devon?
Okay, spelled a little weird, but Devonye.
Okay.
The YE shouldn't be there, but that's another story.
So a silent
Yeah.
Y-E. Alright, cool. Alright, so first and foremost, what word comes to mind when you thought of Trinidad and Tobago before you got here?
What word?
You know, it doesn't have to be good, you know, it could be just whatever's like.
Honestly, enjoyment, because I know my extended family is here. So I know like when I come here to have a good time, enjoyment with the food, I just come here to eat most of the time for my belly, and just like good vibes.
So I heard you all went on a food tour. How good was that?
The food was definitely a 10. Of all the places that I choose, there were 10.
Great. And just a little exclusive for the listeners, we're going to be looking out for your vlog on the tour.
When I get to it.
Alright.
I promise when I get to it.
Alright, well, we do worry. We keep in touch to make sure that happens.
Yes.
How good was the food tour? 10.
Of course, a 10.
Anywhere in particular was like a standout moment for you or experience?
For going to the shanty, tasting roti, I had duck for the first time. So, and all that, it was great for me. It was filling, and as much as it hurt to eat again, I had to go back.
Alright, nice, cool man. So the ducks up on your side not gonna be safe anymore. You looking for duck?
If it's like the shanty, yeah.
Alright, cool man. How was the food tour?
11.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Anything in particular stood out for you?
Oh, there are many things that stood out for me. Being a person who has traveled extensively, the combination of cuisines in Trinidad and Tobago is unlike anything that I have ever experienced. And living on 5 continents, you get to try different spices and foods and mixtures. And because of the rich history of Trinidad and Tobago, with all these different cultures coming together, has created such a unique and vibrant and colorful cuisines that I would dare to say there's no other food in the world like Trinidad and Tobago like cuisine.
11 out of 10, huh?
Absolutely.
That is on record.
It was a 10, but I have to give Curva, the seafood place in my arrow,
Yeah.
10 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the guy that you got the fish.
The fish and the lobster, perfect, on point.
Yo, it was a baby whale you guys got. It couldn't even fit in the box, couldn't close. It was a huge
It was
fish.
on point, and I'll give it a Shanti second place, but Curva,
Yeah. I'm sure they're gonna be glad to hear.
yeah, it was.
Yo, I gotta be fair. So we've been here since Monday, so 7 days, and we've been eating 5 days straight. I would say we had a good 2 out of those 5 days. That was food was it was too good. Food was a 10. We had, but the doubles we had in the first, I was missing doubles for a while now. So I had doubles on the first day, doubles on the second day, doubles on the third day, doubles on the fourth day. But we had fish, and then we had some curry goats the last couple days. That was just, it was too good. So I would say, out of the whole time we've been here, it's probably I'll give it an 8. 8 out of 10.
Alright, nice one. And being a doubles and a curry fan myself, I could definitely approve of having doubles 4 days in a row. So I heard you all went on a food tour. How good was that?
Oh, 10. I rated it 10. Actually, maybe a 9. Because the first day of the food tour was ice cream day, and I have a lot of allergies, so I wasn't able to partake in the ice cream day. So I didn't have any ice cream for the day, so I feel like I missed out on that full day.
Yeah.
So I rated a 9. Yeah.
Koda.
Yeah.
Kinodi.
Yeah.
Right.
My name is Akoda.
Akoda.
This is at the top of the year.
Yeah.
This school on Facebook.
Alright, I'm Ricardo by law, but
Alright.
Ricardo by nature, so I feel you on that.
Alright.
1 to 10. 1 being bad,
1 to 10.
10 being right.
I get that in.
10.
Yeah, I get that in.
And
You know, I never experienced the whole going out that I mean, like saying you go down and eating like lobster and eating this and eating that. I go more eat fish. You know, 14 years now and I know that body. This and so the whole eating fish and going out eating on the whole. Yeah.
So you get the full works.
Yeah, I get the full works. Yeah, everything was just like a real mind blowing.
Yeah, nice one.
Andrea,
Andrea.
yeah.
Alright, Andrea. You've had some guests for the past week or so.
Yes.
How good was the food though?
I could come out and see what I enjoy and what I really do.
Sure.
Yeah. Shanti was boss. True lady. Fish up. My arrow side. Can't remember the name. I think it's Kevots. They were off the hook. Corn soup I didn't try, so I didn't know.
Alright.
But from 1 to 10, I'll say a 7.
7.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, that's my.
Well, I mean, we don't, yeah, you know. So we
Yeah,
don't
I mean, we are accustomed to eating all these stuff, so what more? But
But Shanti.
roast fish, it was on point. Yeah.
First and foremost, welcome to the living room.
Hi, yeah. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks, man. And how good was the food though? Is it 1 being not good, 10 being rare?
It could be like a 8, 9 out of 10 because some of the establishments I went to was like so the stuff was very good, but like it had stuff that you can make it out like that.
Yeah.
By all means, I'm not chef or anything, but like you know now. Like,
But you know what you like?
yeah, I know what I like.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just like I probably just didn't like the certain stuff that we tried. Yeah.
But generally,
Generally, it was very good.
yeah. You ever do anything like that before?
Nah.
But as I experience,
As I experienced, good experience.
Nice one. And again, I'm talking to business, but as a man who in the dating age and them kind of thing too, so it's good to find out
Yeah.
places to grab a bite. That's a little different to the fast foods now, and the places that are charge service. So charge and VAT and all that kind of thing. In celebration of the Sweet 16, I figured it would be a good idea to get a report from people who hear and people who come in. Right. So this is why we're doing this particular series of interviews. How good was the food tour?
I would say about a 6, a 5 or a 6.
Yeah.
Because some things I thought could have tasted better.
Yeah.
And some things I really did enjoy. And I'm still enjoying right now.
Yeah.
I'm still enjoying right now. But yes, some things could have tasted a little bit better. As a person that living in Trinidad, and you know about different things, some things could have.
You know some of the things.
Yeah. But could have tasted a little bit better. But most were really good. Really, really good.
So, how would you describe the people that you met on this visit?
Everybody was friendly. We had good interaction. We had no bad interaction with anybody. And again, like I said, to me, Trinidadians are always friendly and happy and always willing to help each other and look out for each other, offer advice. So it was pleasant. It was pleasant.
Great. So, how would you describe the people you met on this visit? Like even the vendors and
They were fun, honestly. Like even going to get doubles, they were always talking to us, being kind, and it was fun.
Now, I know they say that Trinidadians are some of the friendliest people on the face of the earth. No, not friendliest. We are the happiest people on the face of the earth, all right? How would you describe the persons that you would have met on this visit?
Friendly, humble, and humble in the sense of there's so much abundance here, and the Trinidadians do not take it for granted. And they embrace their culture and their food and their way of life just as much as people who are here just visiting. And that's something that I love about Trinidad and Tobago, especially its people, is that they are proud of their culture, but at the same time they're still willing to share it with other people.
This is a pretty good report.
Everybody was friendly. Comparing to what you would hear in the news with the crime, I was expecting like everything to be a little more scary, but everything was fine. The only thing that gave me anxiety was the driving.
Yeah.
But I guess that's how everybody drives in Trinidad. So
Yes.
I guess you have to know who you're driving.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
Other than that, everybody that we met was friendly. Everybody was nice, down to earth. It was good.
Excellent.
Yeah, everyone's super friendly. You hear all these horror stories about Trinidad because of, the violent stuff now. So our family told us, get a Trinidad accent quick, and so I think I can kick mine back in. But it probably still have some hints of American here and there. Everyone we met so far on the food tour was dope. Everyone was friendly. Our drivers were really, really cool. So I felt safe, start to finish. Like everyone we met along the way. Really had no problem. We were with a family most of the trip, so it was about 16 of us from one day to the next. But yeah, everyone, vendors, again, doubles 4 days in a row. We went to eat at like 5 different places for 5 days straight. Everybody was really, really friendly, so nothing out of the blue.
And how would you describe the people that you met on the visit? The drivers, the vendors? Just...
I feel like everybody was nice, cool. We had a great driver that transported us from this house to every destination we had while we were here. Everybody on the food tour was nice. They greeted us well, they fed us well. They were pleasant. We didn't come across no rude people. So it was nice.
You think the people that only meet on the trip, the vendors and just the people that you meet, you think they represent Trinidad well?
I get them now and that this young girl we picked up on our side, we went to the roast fish. Update, she was on point. I get them that they was like, yo, go back. Yeah, I tell them that, see, go back there.
Nice one. You think that they represented Trinidad and Tobago well?
Very well. very well. And the reason being that they represented it very well. They explained every single thing to them. Every question they asked, everything they explained it perfectly. So yeah, they explained it well. It was good.
Yeah, because like there was good hospital, very welcoming people. And
so you feel like a better customer service this week than normal, or?
yeah, but that customer service by far.
So you feel that's because they hear the accents on them, or you feel it's because it's just the people with the food establishments was
like, I feel like it's the accent plus it's the people in the food establishments because there's good people, but I feel like if like the average Trinidadian might have it. Well, I'm not saying that there would be people differently, but like, I feel like it might have a little difference. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, that's kind of hypothetical, but I'm glad that you say the people in the establishments. It's just the vibe that I had too.
Yeah, it's very good people and a very good vibe.
Yeah, I think they did actually. Some, as I said, some of them.
Yeah.
I think they really did. Ethnically and so on, they did promote different parts of the culture because we are very diverse.
Yeah.
So those that were really good, as I said, they did represent their different ethnicities and aspects.
Yeah.
It was top notch. Yes.
Excellent.
Like, I know the weather over the past couple of weeks has been very sporadic, you know. 1 minute is hot blazing sun, then a shower of rain, and then all of a sudden, hot sun again. Did the weather surprise you all in any way during this visit?
The build-up of coming here, my sister did send me the whole weather report for the week. We expected rain, but again, as a Trini visiting from, we snow and whatever, the rain was nothing for us. Because we're like partying, whether it's raining or not, we were going on our food tours. The rain did not stop us.
Great. Did the weather surprise you at all?
No. There's like one thing that would put me to sleep all the time. Every time I was about my grandmother, as soon as it rained, I was asleep.
No. So when I was a toddler, I lived here for a few years, and the rain is one of my favorite things. And actually, I was just sitting outside for about 40 minutes just looking at the rain. And, in many places, or even maybe here, people look at the rain as this deterrent to enjoy themselves. But hearing the rain and feeling the rain makes that experience here that much more plentiful. So for me, the rain is such a blessing, and it's warm, and the drops are so big, and you can smell the sky. I love the rain.
Excellent.
Okay, we had rain every day, but it wasn't too bad. I was just amazed by a 10-minute rain, how much it flooded.
Ooh.
Yeah, because like 5-10 minutes of rain, and how many flood were developed within that time, within those minutes. I'm shocked by that. The infrastructure needs to be fixed.
I will take that.
Big time.
I will take that. That is the Living Room is an interesting program because we do nation building conversations. Right? We've spoken on mental health, economics, politics. We talk about everything in this program.
And the only thing that shocked me when it comes to mental health was the woman who killed herself, her daughter.
Yeah.
The thing with mental health, a lot of people think it would affect Black people, especially since this pandemic, it comes up and it's out there. So I think even in America and the Caribbean, the government needs to be like more strict on it. And the next thing I see that I didn't like is so much abandoned building, and there's too many people living in shacks that I don't think if it's rain, it's gonna protect them. There are too many abandoned buildings, so they need to do something about it. That and the infrastructure, the roads.
Oh yeah,
it needs to be fixed.
That is going to be a whole episode in itself. I guarantee you that.
The government, PNM people need to stop voting in for racial issue and start voting for things to be done.
Yeah.
From what I see in a week.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how it goes after that.
That's a pretty fair assessment. Did the weather surprise you?
I didn't know it was rainy season. Again, I left there when I was really, really young, so seasons didn't really click in my head. So right before we got here, we saw the forecast, and it was, rain every day, thunderstorms every day till we leave. Rain fell maybe 2-3 hours out of the day. Yesterday was our beach day. We got there, it was raining, so we're like, oh man, rain's never gonna stop. But then the sun come out, we have a good time. So like rain didn't bother me most of the time. We didn't really do anything that affected us in the rain other than yesterday, the beach day. Yeah, so like that was nothing for us. It really didn't affect any of our food tours or our big days. So that was just kind of like a 2 or 3 hour thing that happened in the middle of the day, and then we just kind of ignored it.
Alright, go on. And it's a Caribbean island in the rainy season. So did the weather surprise you at all?
No, because I know it was rainy season. However, it did keep my vibe here and there. Like yesterday, we had beach day, and we had to stay in a maxi probably for like 2 hours until it stopped raining. So I mean, it was a vibe killer here and there, but the rain didn't last long. Every day we were here.
We know that there's a crime issue in Trinidad and Tobago right now. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how safe did you all feel during this visit?
A 10, and I'll explain that. I travel all over the world, and wherever you go, you need to use common sense, right? So I've been, like I tell people, I've been in Venice, for instance. You go over one bridge, it's nice, and then over the next bridge, you can get pickpockets. But I know not to go over that bridge after that, right? So it's the same thing with Trinidad. I know not to go outdoors, to go party, hanging out by myself. I'm going to go with a group of Trinidadians if I have to. So again, yes, we know in Trinidad it's crime stricken, but again, you use common sense. It's the end of our tour, and we had no encounter with anything that's terrible.
That is excellent news. That is a great report, because this episode is going to be aired on Independence Day, right? And we're calling it Sweet 16.
Right.
And it's really good to get some positive feedback from people who know Trinidad and people who haven't come back home with the memories, the expectations, that they could give us some good feedback, and this is really good to hear. I think the listeners are going to be excited to get this type of feedback.
It's all about safety and using common sense. I personally think the younger folks don't have any. They don't use it.
Yeah.
And that's why we have all these hiccups. But I mean, I grew up in Trinidad. I used to be all over Trinidad by myself. It is shocking to come back, and every year I come back, the crime rate is getting worse and worse. And of course I have people shifting me from point A to point B. So I may be in a bubble as exposed to people who don't have a driver to drive them around, or they have to take public transportation or whatever it is. But even if I do that, my sister who lives here tells me how to be safe. So one of the things I always do if I get into a taxi, I never ask what's the fare. I just pay attention to what other people's paying.
Right.
So you don't really pick up that I'm a New Yorker and I don't come home and do the bling bling thing. So again, this is me all the time. So I'm looking no.
I was 10. I didn't see anything bad. I was even just walking outside or going in the maxi, coming out to get some stuff, coconut water, breakfast, all. It was chill. People, they were just nice, just doing their own thing.
I have to say a 4.
Yeah.
And the reason why, it's because not just of how I felt when I was here, but all the preparation and all the advice that I was given before coming to Trinidad, and being admonished that it was not like how I remember Trinidad and Tobago, where you could just walk around. I walked around for the first time today in a week with just one other person, and there was a little apprehension, even though it was early in the morning going out. So unfortunately, I don't feel as safe as I have been in other places. But I have not encountered anything that was dangerous.
Okay. Yeah, well, for the past 2 months in the living room, we've been doing a series called Addressing the Violence, where we've interviewed a senior editor with Figaro newspaper. We've interviewed a forensic psychologist so that we could get some legal and psychological perspective. We've interviewed a lawyer. We've interviewed members of the church and social groups. We've interviewed teachers. We've had several interviews with so many people across different arenas, just trying to figure out what is a holistic approach we could take with this thing. So hearing 4 out of 10, even though we didn't actually have an encounter, is evidence that we have a culture and an atmosphere now that is weighted by violence. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I feel safe. Like I said, compared to what my husband reads and what he tells me. 'Cause I don't follow Trinidad news. He tells me everything.
Yeah.
But the amount of like, you see videos where people like just walk up on people and shoot at people. Like my daughter and my nephew went out one night and they didn't sleep until they come back. I know they were safe, but like I said, you never know.
Right.
But honestly, I feel safe.
Good.
I feel safe.
That is a pretty good report again.
That's a good question. So we were advised not to go anywhere. I would say we had some paranoid people in our family, so like they were advising us, please go with a partner or maybe even 4 or 5 people at once. Most of the week we were with people, most of our families. So like there was nothing to be scared about. We went out 2 nights since we've been here, but with people that we knew from Trinidad. So like I was never scared, but we were advised to not go outside or not walk around the compound and stuff like that, lock the doors. So because of that sort of direction, I would say I felt maybe like a 7, just because I felt like I couldn't, even as a man, couldn't walk down the road or everything else, especially not having any like jewelry on. So I left my Apple Watch at home. I didn't take my phone out any much. So I would say 7, just because of what was advised to us. But just being on the street, being in a maxi, going from place to place, I felt pretty safe.
Good to hear, man.
Okay, so before I came here, I was a little bit paranoid because I heard of how bad Trinidad had gotten. So just a backstory, the last time I came to Trinidad was 7 years ago, and it has completely changed as far as the violence, the crime rate going up. So all I could work off of was like the stories that my parents told me, or like the news in Trinidad and Tobago. So before I was scared for sure, but during my stay I felt safe just because we had transportation from here to the next spot. I had one night where I went out with my brother, but he's from here in Trinidad, and I felt pretty safe. Yeah, so I would say maybe a 7.
Okay. How safe did you feel having your family here in Trinidad and Tobago?
Let's see. What I said, people said.
Yeah.
You got the crime rate right now. You want to brother. I find I really slackness on the police them who speaking. And well, for that company here, I see them don't know how we speed will be to them speed. Them will be like, they go out by here and they go know to we sell down here. Nah, this buy safe.
Yes,
they safe, you understand? Yeah. But other than that, I get that what I said people said.
It was safe enough because everybody was together, so in that aspect the safety was there. We were staying away from all the areas that we know, had all the crimes, and wasn't letting them go out anywhere like by themselves. So yeah, it was good.
Like I 8, 9 out of 10. Yeah, because it's like around people that I know I could trust, and you don't be myself around, so it was like I 8 out of 10.
It was perfectly fine. It had enough of us in case of anything, but we were having safe fun, and nobody was jumping anybody or bothering anybody, so I felt very safe.
It's great news.
Yeah.
How safe you feel?
Well, on the whole with me, I don't drink unless it's a reunion. More or less. I don't go outside this. I don't go outside again.
How safe do you feel in Trinidad?
Well, you see, me now, being honest, I don't really go anywhere, so I always home.
Yeah.
Although, crime pick up in your home, I still feel, let me say, about 70% safe. Yeah, because I don't really go out plenty, put myself out there, so I feel safe enough.
Generally, how safe do you feel being in Trinidad?
Like a 7 at the most, because it's like I know anything could happen to me, but like I sure nothing, like nobody will do anything in the sense that I don't. As a humble for life,
You don't be in the zone for them thing.
Nah.
Anyway, how old are you? If you don't mind asking.
I'm 16 and I'll be 17 November 11.
Hey, that's a bad man.
Yeah.
So, hey, blaze aside, no do. So, 16 going on 17. I mean, license and all them things around the corner.
Yeah, license and
You could
everything.
be voting next election, them kind of thing too.
Yeah, adults are be voting.
Yeah. Well, we had planned. I feel like I'm gonna have you back on for that conversation when the time comes, because
Of
I really
course.
want to know too how the youths feel about what is going on
Yeah.
politically. You know?
Yeah.
People feel all of a sudden it's just
Nah, it's not that.
right. So we go have that talk when the time comes.
Yeah.
Okay. But normally, how safe you feel in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, considering the most recent crime news and certain things, as a female, you would be a little bit apprehensive if you need to go out at a certain time, and then you need to make sure who you're going with. And then the next thing is, as a female, it's kind of difficult. Let's say if you're going to a party or a club or anything like that, you always have to try to be alert, especially if you're not with people that you're 100% sure, okay, if I get wasted, this person will definitely have my back. So you still wouldn't be able to enjoy yourself as much, because women of lately have been getting preyed on a lot, and I think that needs to change in our society. It needs to.
As a woman, you have a right to feel safer.
Yeah, because women don't even feel safe to even travel anymore, because you're constantly hearing news about women almost being abducted, and then even if you go to line, okay, guys coming around you even when you're backing them off and saying, okay, no, you're not on that. They're still advancing and very strongly, and then if you have male counterparts that are with you, talk will fly, fights will ensue, and that I don't like that kind of vibe, especially. It's the last thing you want to do, especially when you go out.
Right.
You don't want you to get into altercation, neither anybody you come with. You don't want that, you know?
We realize that crime and violence in Trinidad is not just people hungry and do hard work. A lot of it have to do with just
people's mentality on the whole. I think both male and female, don't get me wrong, mentalities need to change, right? People need to feel comfortable if, okay, they go in somewhere, even a regular walk down the street, even to go to a shop or a grocery, you will get people, suiting, heckling, and a lot of inappropriate things. And not even as an older woman, even younger females get heckled on a lot, which I find is a bit disgusting, because obviously you would think, okay, guys, exactly. I'm sure they have sisters, aunts, mothers, and they wouldn't want somebody to do something like that.
the same fellas who want to run in and get on bad with somebody.
For their family, they do to other, so I don't like that.
And after spending, just a week, which I find is a kind of short time, what comes to mind? What word comes to mind when you think of Trinidad and Tobago?
Again, we're a fantastic island. Just it's about lightning, hanging out, having fun, basically. I would tell you though, I was disappointed as to what the government hasn't done. Or what they should have been doing. I drove around and I was in Central, in the North, in the South, and I saw so much waste in terms of the houses that they're building that people can't even live in because it's not of good quality. Or even when I went up Central, I see these pipelines. I don't know what they were for, but they have been sitting there for years. So I'm very disappointed in the government. I would say that is one of my pet peeves about this country.
I would take that wholeheartedly, because one of the things we do in the living room is we don't just critique, we try to hold accountable. So I appreciate that. And having spent a week here exploring, doing the food, everything, give me one word when you think of Trinidad and Tobago.
One word I think of Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, well, your word in the beginning was family. So is it the same word or you have another word to add?
No, okay, there's multiple. Adventurous and exciting. I can't say that there's one word to describe Trinidad and Tobago because I think only one can't describe the whole entire thing. There's multiple. It has to be multiple.
That is perfect. Thanks a lot, man. And after having spent a week here, what would come to mind when you think of Trinidad and Tobago?
Home.
I need to service this AC because. Home.
Yeah, I'm also getting emotional. Even though I'm only, half Trinidadian and my father's Venezuelan. Give me a moment. Trinidad has always felt like home, even though I haven't been here in over 12 years. And I'm very proud to be half Trini. And I'm so grateful I've had this week to come back, and I've learned so much on this food tour about our culture, about our history, that I had not learned prior to living here and prior to visiting in the summers. Trini to the bone. I'm very proud to be Trini. And it's fun.
What comes to mind? What word comes to mind when you think of Trinidad and Tobago?
Trinidad and Tobago is beautiful. The people are welcoming, they're down to earth. Other than, it's beautiful. The beaches, still nice, but we didn't experience the blue markers because of the mudslide and stuff, but the beaches, the 2 beaches that we saw, it's beautiful, it's nice. If the crime will just fix, they'll fix the crime. I could get back to how it was.
Listen, that is all I hear that, sweet 60 Trinidad and Tobago. If we could just fix the crime. If we could just fix the crime,
Trinidad could surely get back to what it was. I guess they need to stop thinking about race. If they will stop voting because of that and start voting and thinking of the people, Trinidad will be back to sweet yet.
Well, I hear that, Trinidad and Tobago.
I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been here for 7 years.
Yeah.
And when I did come, it was for my brother's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't venture out anyway. Yeah. We didn't even go anywhere. It was from Gabe's house to my house where I lived in New York. And that was it. Like all these places we went, we didn't venture out. And we went and it was 7 years compared to now. Mm-hmm. Now it's worse than 7 years ago. Right. To me. And I felt safe outside.
Okay.
So like I said, if they will just focus on the crime, I get somebody who was like serious in borrow days.
Ooh, okay.
Trinidad will be back to normal.
I'm pretty certain that Wax listenership is nodding in agreement. And for who watching on YouTube, the comment box going to be hot and sweaty.
But I actually felt safe. It's just it's like for a small island, it's too much crime. It's too much. But everybody was sweet. Even people who did so on the street, everybody was welcoming. Everybody was nice. Had smiling. Everything. Right. I felt safe. Even my husband asked me, he's like, "How do you feel?" I'm like, "I'm good. I felt safe."
Great news.
That's another good question. I don't know if I can assign a word for Trinidad and Tobago as much as I can assign a word for our family. We're crazy. So like crazy and wild, I'll put them both together. Just because we have, a lot of cousins from here. My mom and myself are from other states. So when everyone links up, it's a good time, but it's also a crazy time because people get to be themselves, express themselves, maybe a little different than they do from the day to day, just because everyone's in a group. So like when you mix our family with being like back in our home, so Trinidad, our home country. I would say crazy and wild. So I would probably explain Trinidad as being the same thing, just because we're constantly with them from since last Monday. Yeah, so I would say there's not I wouldn't pick a word for Trinidad so much as like our family's extension of Trinidad. So I would go wild and crazy.
Your word in the beginning was enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
After having a week here, what would your word be?
After having a week here, my word would be peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like. Again, I'm from the States, I'm from New York. Everything's fast-paced. From the time you wake up to the time you come home. you're in a rush every minute. It's a rush to get coffee, it's a rush to get food and come back to the office, and I just feel like I didn't have to do any rushing here. My family members, they live in the States too, so the only time I felt rushed was in the house, like if we had to leave and go out to where we had to go. But I would say peaceful because I just relaxed. I didn't have to open my work app. I ate food, I ate legit everything I wanted to eat. I had a whole list of things I wanted to eat and I ate everything. And I just been relaxing. Yeah. So for me, it's peaceful. I know Trinidad is a little bad right now and sketchy with everything going on outside, but for me personally, coming from New York and constantly being in a rush, the train, everything, it was peaceful to me now after my stay.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Ricardo.
Thank you for seeing the living room.
Okay.
That was dope.
Oh, thank you.
On behalf of the living room, I want to thank you for being such a good host and for representing Trinidad and Tobago so well to the family that people are visit. Right? I get a sweet 60. Sweet 70. Sweet 70 for you. Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining us, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, on behalf of WAC, the living room, DJ Aaron 868 and Ricardo Mitchell, thank you for joining us. And I hope you have a great Sweet 60th Independence celebration.
Oh, I wish everybody the same as well, and thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, bye.
Alright. Well, Kura, thanks for being in the living room, you know. Well, appreciate it, but I love the work that you put in, making sure that the family and them was right up.
I could have loved the calls.
Always, man.
Love videos, man.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Alright, nice.
Yeah.
So you feel with our Sweet 60 celebrations coming up here that it still has some bright spots.
Some, but they're in there somewhere. But yeah, it has some bright spots, yeah.
Well, the plan is that with this kind of report that we get in, we could look at some of the bright spots and see if we can put a little...
With the amount of crime, yeah, you have to look at the lights from all the darkness. You just have to get your lights and, try and put through the light and we'll get somewhere, but I guess we just have to come together, that's about it.
Well, on behalf of the living room, thanks for joining us and for being such
Thanks for having me.
good host and representative of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, this is going to be a part of our 60th Independence Day episode, so I want to thank you for spending this time in the living room with us. Captain, it's been good to have you back.
Thank you so much, and this was a pleasure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview.
Not a problem. So, Pauline, thanks for joining us in the living room.
Thank you.
Alright, it's been a pleasure having you guys on.
It was a pleasure being here.
Oh, that's great.
I can't say when I'll be back, but it was a pleasure being here.
2029 at the rate you're going, 7 years? Or you're trying to make it happen before then?
I probably could make it happen before then.
Great news.
But it was fun.
Nice.
And you were very welcoming.
Oh, thank you very much. Pam, thanks for joining us in the living room.
It was a pleasure.
Alright. Miguel.
Miguel.
Thanks for joining us in the living room, man. I noticed you have a drink in your hand. If I ain't telling us what it is.
Cool. So I've been drinking this since from the States, but not the exact drink. So usually I do a honey whiskey. I like my drink sweet, I like to taste it. So it's usually like a honey whiskey and ginger ale, a honey whiskey and ginger beer, maybe some grenadine. But we never have any of that stuff here. So this is a third honey whiskey, about a third Lucozade orange or original. You can flip up between both, and then a third LLB. So I just found this out. It's completely new. Lemon, lime, and bitters. That can go with anything. So this is what this is, and it's slamming.
Alright, yo. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Wow, Aaron, I knew that there was still some hope, but to hear the reality, to hear that there's some ups and downs in the way that the trip went, I still feel encouraged that all isn't lost. Right? It also is a good indicator to us that we have a responsibility for how our country is perceived, because not everybody gets the opportunity to experience and decide for themselves how to feel about Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct.
Right? So at the end of the day,
I'm not gonna say it's like a pendulum,
Yeah, that's the
It's
P
like
word
a
for
pendulum.
that's a good P word too.
Well,
But
that's the end of it.
to the Figaro clan, thank you guys.
Thank you, thank you,
for everybody
thank you.
for being
I've
able to
excited.
leave.
I've excited to get invited.
Brother man is kind of crab and dumpling and
I can't eat
roti
that.
well, you did not eat the crab and thing, but roti and roast fish and all kind of. Anyway,
a good roast fish. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Man.
Hey, this is Ricardo Mitchell.
No, I'm not gonna say we had to wrap it up because
The
we
social
are
stage.
we buy the bowl right now.
Yeah, we outside because we inside. This is
Yeah.
Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage and the local stage. Thank you for joining us in the living room. Guys, happy independence. We don't know how much time remains. The hourglass is opaque. Whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. Aaron?
Yours truly, DJ Aaron 868. I'm always great and I am never late. I always tell you guys, love is the currency. So let somebody know you love them today. And every day I affirm my love for the culture and the country that is Trinidad and Tobago. All right. I'm sorry there was no independence mix this year, guys. I was on that. I'm real sorry.
On a punching. You know what they could probably do? Go on to DJ Aaron 868
on SoundCloud. Yeah.
And pull from any of the multiple
soca mixes
that you've done.
or Kaiso mixes.
Correct,
right?
is right.
So guys, be looking to head down to Red, White, and Whack.
Correct, is right.
Hopefully the bowl lets us in, because I know we late.
I mean, let me put it this way, you's not even playing the music?
We go on, guys. We go on. All right.
We out. Take it easy, guys. God bless.